vote. Get this person on the bus.
You voted.
I felt very pulled into it. It felt very real.
For Cassidy Wagner, the end was not an ordinary play.
It made me feel less prepared for a post-apocalyptic world. Like it's just exposed me to something that feels really unfamiliar from my everyday life.
You're here because you had the foresight to realize what was coming. We're on the precipice, and it's a time of great change.
It really takes you into the environment as opposed to like seeing a show on stage. You're in the world. That makes it much more real, and for me, affected me emotionally almost immediately.
That's a win for Patrick Mueller.
It feels really clear that there's a problem that we are all getting our eyes onto, and yet we are struggling to find change.
He's the artistic director of Control Group Productions, the theater company putting on this thought-provoking performance.
I think offering a felt experience and also an emotional experience. We grapple with what it is going to be like if we are inside of this fairly dark future. That galvanizes people to change in a very different way than data sets and IPCC reports.
It's easy to know what's coming. It's not rocket science, it's just math. We use more water than we have, so we will run out.
It's a bus tour of Denver's climate future as we go off of a cliff. It's an actual bus that we ride on, and then this location and a couple others.
Go get what we need, okay? I'll figure out.
So a sort of immersed in the experience mix of real life around us and some make-believe that we are in a near future climate apocalypse.
I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I boarded the bus, along with the other climate refugees trying to get to a place called The Refuge.
So, we've just received word from the refuge. They're eager for us to arrive. They are. But they've asked us to make a few stops we didn't quite plan on.
As the play unfolds, more characters are added.
Look, we weigh about 10 pounds. It's a solid 10 and change. Don't mess with me. We all have places to be.
The trip becomes increasingly dangerous.
You are hereby under arrest for the disregard of regulations pertaining to the operation of unauthorized motor vehicles and the harvesting of water from public waterways.
And we all have to make a run for it.
Part of the tour, we end up here at this safe house where the bus passengers are supposed to feel safe, but before they can even finish dinner, they're rushed off again.
Wagner likened this part of the performance as the most eye-opening.
Towards the end of the show, there's a sort of reckoning or like climax emotionally that happens.
Oh, this isn't a joke! You can't go around making up your own rules! Hey, get up! Get up!
And then like the audience members get onto the bus and we drive through the most polluted like area in Denver. The area is super depleted. You can smell like all the smells from these old slaughterhouses and factories, and everyone on the bus was completely silent. It was a moment that really resonated with people. That was not a stage, that was our world where we live.
I think we are offering therapy and definitely not optimism, but a path forward that we talk about very much in terms of like, we need to put aside hope and get to work and do the work because it needs to happen and not because we think it's going to bring us back to the world that you and I grew up in, but because it's the difference between this trajectory and this trajectory.
I think the show helps build awareness on how we can act locally in our community and help each other to create a better environment, even just like our daily lives in small ways. Awareness is my first call to action.